For the past 4 decades, Northeast Ohio's finest artists have been honored for their achievements with what's known as the Cleveland Arts Prize. Originally conceived and created in 1960 by local arts pioneers Klaus Roy and Martha Joseph, the Arts Prize is our area's most prestigious cultural award. On Thursday, June 28th, the 2007 winners of the Cleveland Arts Prize will be celebrated in a ceremony at the Cleveland Playhouse. Joining me now is the Executive Director of the Arts Prize, Marcy Bergman, and 2 of this year's winners, artists Chris Pico and Brendan Ring of Nighttown. And welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, Marcy, let's start with some background. How were this year's winners chosen?
We start with a nomination process where the public can nominate online or through the mail. Those nominations go before a jury made up of their peers for the various disciplines. And there are 4 disciplines: music and dance, literature, visual arts, and design. And then there are special prizes awarded, the Robert P. Bergman Prize and the Martha Joseph Prize, and those are basically for leadership in the arts. So the jury committees meet, they look at the work these people have done, they make a decision and come up with a slate of emerging artists, mid-career, and lifetime achievement. And then there's a special prize committee also, and they make up a slate for the special prizes. Then the jury meets as a whole and hashes out different, who's going to get emerging artists kind of thing. And there is a slate presented to the board at that point, and the board then oversees it and agrees or disagrees, so that it's really a very long process. And when we get our winners, it's been through a real good look at who is the outcome, who gets this prize, and we're very pleased with this year's winners.
Just to give a sense of what happens, the detail that goes into this is that in the case of the poets and the writers, or some actors and actresses are sometimes brought in to read the poetry or the writing that's being offered to the jury. So, or actual examples of artwork in my case was brought in. I had no idea this was happening, but so it's a very
thorough process.
I was very much surprised at how much detail went into it.
And so, as a nominee, you're not aware that the process is going on until your name is announced.
You may have a little sense of.
Because people keep asking for your work.
Somebody will ask for some information that only you have, but no, you have no sense of really the whole the entirety
of the process.
Of it.
Now, Brendan, you've won a special award for your work at Nighttown, and I wanted to have you talk about what the club's mission is and how you feel about that in general.
Well, first of all, I was floored and honored by the award, and like yourself, I found out about it on the night and wasn't aware really. I've heard a couple of rumors, but didn't really know, and I'm thrilled that jazz has been recognized as a quintessential American art form, and that we're grouped together with all these great artists. I think it's great. We began a mission to bring jazz to Northeast Ohio 7 or 8 years ago, myself and Jim Wadsworth, and it's been an uphill battle in a lot of cases, but we're finally starting to break through, and to get this award and to be recognized as such is just gives us validation.
After a long struggle. In the community.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and that's one of the awards that that I looked at, those special awards, and said, "Oh, this is something different. It's a more inclusive, more diverse kind of."
Thank you. That's exactly what the committee felt. We have honored Cindy Barber, who's at Beachland Ballroom, and Brendan Ring, feeling they are really bringing music to the community in a way that is really important and needs to be recognized, and it is. It's more inclusive. It's community-based, and we thought that was important. So.
And the emerging artist is a fairly new development on the Arts Prize list. Tell us about the emerging artist chosen.
The emerging artist this year is Eric Coble, who's a playwright, and he has had... The category of emerging artist starts with the person supposed to be under 40. So not many people have achieved a lot of recognition under 40. He has had, I believe I'm correct in saying, 2 plays on Broadway. I think he's written 49 plays already. He's shown a lot in Cleveland, or his plays are shown a lot in Cleveland. As Chris mentioned, at the jury, we had a small reading of one of his plays, which was hysterically funny and very enjoyable. So he just, I mean, won it fair and square, and is, we're very excited to have this.
Yeah. You, Chris, are in the mid-career category.
Right.
Do you feel like you're in the middle?
It's a little hard to say. I feel like I'm never sure where I am.
What does the award mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. It's certainly very prestigious, and because of the detail that's gone into it, to arrive at a conclusion, it becomes even more important, I think. And it is a recognition from my peers, which means a great deal to me.
And Chris saying that made me wonder, Brendan, what your peers have said to you about this award.
Well, actually, I've been so overwhelmed with emails and telephone calls, but the best one of the lot, I think, was a little old lady who came into Nighttown the other day, probably in her late 80s, and she just handed me a handwritten note, and in very squiggly writing, said, "You make us so proud to be in Cleveland Heights and what you're doing with jazz."
Great.
And it's on my board at work, but the outpouring of support and people, and again, it's crossing lines. It's people that are on their way to the Cleveland Orchestra or the Cleveland Playhouse coming up to me saying, "Congratulations, great that this is happening." So, and they are, I guess, are our peers in the arts, and it's great to be recognized as such.
Well, I wanted to have you touch on if there are any highlights in terms of people whose names you want to mention, other awardees in the major categories.
Well, our emerging artist is Eric Coble. Our mid-career artists, Chris is one, and the other is Louis Nielsen, who is a composer at the Oberlin Conservatory. Our Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Norm Krumholtz, who's an urban planner here in Cleveland. He lives in Cleveland Heights, but he's at Cleveland State, and has been active in Cleveland, the Cleveland community for decades. Our special prizes this year's Robert Bergman Prize goes to Tom Shorgel, who is the head of Community Partners, CPAC, Community Partnership for Arts and Culture. Thank you. Yeah. And has done a terrific job, and we feel very, very strongly that our prizes are timely. And it is very timely to award it to Tom this year, having passed issue 18 and getting public funding for the arts. In addition, Brendan Ring and Cindy Barber have the Martha Joseph Prize, and Susan Channing, who's the current director of Spaces, retiring at the end of June, was honored with the Martha Joseph Prize, and also Toby Devon Lewis, who has been a tremendous factor in the arts in Cleveland for many years, as first the head curator at Progressive and as a philanthropist as well.
Excellent. And details on how to nominate someone for the next set of prizes online?
Yes, online. And we in the past, we've always done nominations for a short period, starting January through the end of February. Now we're going to have them open always online. So anybody, when you're thinking about it, can go online, and where it says nominate here, click and send in your nomination. Great. And it will be for next year.
Terrific. Thank you all, and congratulations as well.
Dee, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My guests have been Marcy Bergman, the Executive Director for the Cleveland Arts Prize, and two of this year's winners, visual artist Chris Pico and from Nighttown, Brendan Ring. The Cleveland Arts Prize ceremony takes place Thursday, June 28th at the Cleveland Playhouse. For more on the Cleveland Arts Prize and all of this year's winners, just log on to our applause page online at WVIZ.org.